Hello, this is Lisa Russick with the podcast We Are All Psychic, and today Misty is not here. She is sick yet again. Very sad thing when Misty is sick because she gets sick a lot. But we have a wonderful guest, and her name is Jenn. Jenn, would you like to say hello?
Hello, I'm so excited to be here and to get to connect with you.
I am so glad you're here, Jenn. And do you think we're all psychic?
I think everyone has psychic abilities. I definitely believe a lot of us turn it off when we're kids because it scares us maybe a little bit, or we're told that thing you do is weird, don't do it in public. And so that sometimes happens. And then other people, I think, just never really connect to it. But I think that there's definitely that connection and ability that's available for everyone.
I think so too. It feels like it's just right smack everywhere, doesn't it? Once you start noticing it, it's like everything. Oh,
yes.
It's kind of like the material world is also the spiritual, physical, mental, emotional. It's all of it,
Yeah. And
everything's everything.
Yeah. And that's kind of my story is, I was raised in a conservative Christian household where magic, quote unquote, was not acceptable. Right. And so it was very like, we don't do that. We don't talk about that. And so I tamped it down, and it wasn't until probably my late 20s or early 30s where I really was like, oh, let's see what happens if I let this go.
Sounds like a Saturn return issue.
Possibly.
That's really cool. So do you remember anything from early childhood or when you were a kid at all, like happening and then shutting it down in particular? So for the listeners who have that had experience, maybe they can recognize it or something.
Yeah. So I've always been the person that everybody, even in, like young elementary school, the person that everybody comes to and just like tells me all the things. Right. And
I believe that because the minute I saw your face, I couldn't stop talking and telling you like, everything about me. Listeners, watchers.
Yeah, that's something. And I didn't recognize for a while that like
most people don't have that happen. I'm like that too, but you are really
yeah. So that was a big thing for me. And I'm a very, very strong empath. So once I realized what that was and how to kind of work with it, that definitely made a huge impact in my life. I also remember, multiple nights where I would wake up and I would see a shadow or I would see something standing at the end of my bed. And it was
a real common thing you hear.
Yeah.
What'd you think it was?
Sometimes it was scary. Sometimes it wasn't. There was one night I was probably in my early, or probably like 14. And my mom was out of town. So I was home alone for the night. And I woke up and saw one that felt really scary to me. And I couldn't, like, it looked like he had a hat on. Like it was odd, and I didn't like it. So I went through the house and turned all the lights on everywhere in the house, and then just like laid in my bed. And eventually I passed out and fell asleep again. But
Oh gosh.
that one was scary. Most often it was more just, like kind of something moving through my sight. And so I'd be like, what was that? And no one else would have.
Yeah, I know what you mean by it. It's like blur. It's like a blur. Yep. Yeah. I've got to plug my computer in. It's about to die. Don't stop talking.
So I had a lot of that. And then I was always really, really drawn to things like astrology and horoscopes and things like that. And because it wasn't allowed, I didn't ever look into or like really learn much about it, but I would always find a magazine to go like to my horoscope.
Yes, me too. I love my horoscope.
Right? Yeah.
And when you find out you can read your moon and rising later in life, you're like,
right.
Horoscopes. Or 4 or 5. You can have them all.
Yes. So when that was kind of as far as I could get.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my entry into, I don't know, like I just always kind of knew things. Like I know a little bit about a lot of things that I have no reason to know about. Yeah. So that's where mine starts.
I love that. That's so funny. It's like you're the jack of all trades through knowing information's like little bit, a lot bit. of all these
Yes.
different
Yes.
subjects. And
Exactly.
you seem really curious to me. You seem like you have a curiosity, like a teacher. You remind me
I
like of someone who teach things really well.
Yeah, I definitely am. And I have a list of like modalities and things that I want to try out and I want to learn more about. And just like one at a time, I'm checking them off the list. So we're going
Yeah.
one by one.
Yeah, and listeners and watchers, she's a Capricorn, and I told her I love Capricorns, and that's a very Capricorn thing to do. Make a list and cross them off and do it.
Yep.
Actually complete the list. Wonderful thing
I don't
Capricorns
know.
do.
I don't know if we ever gonna get complete because it tends to
Keep
just get
adding.
longer and longer.
So
But that
listeners,
is, as a Capricorn, that is something for me that I have had to learn is life is a journey. It's not about the destination or the like, the certification at the end.
when you
Um,
think about the destination, it's kind of, I mean, the
right.
destination of the unknown is there for a lot of us. And there's also the ultimate destination that we
Right.
know happens, but we don't know what happens afterwards. Not, well, no, I don't believe anyone can say for sure they know.
Oh,
I
100%.
totally believe in life after death and reincarnation and all that from my personal experiences, and it comes from there. I imagine most psychics have the personal experiences, and that's why we are working with working with the energy psychics. That's
Yeah.
why we are doing what we do at all,
100%. Yep, I agree. I agree. Yeah, but um I agree. That's another thing coming from a religious background is having all of those really concrete answers of what happens after death and then letting all of that go and just the curiosity of, well, what if? Well,
Yeah.
what if? And that's a
Yeah,
fun
that's so
place to
true.
live.
What if is what I prefer. Even as a kid, like a little kid, I thought heaven was a hotel. I was raised Catholic and I went to mass all the dang time, but I was sure heaven was a hotel, and I was afraid they wouldn't leave the light on for me in the hallway and leave the door open when I died. So I was sure I was going to die at any moment all the time. So I was
That's
terrified little
heavy
kid. I
for
was
a little
terrified of
kid.
everything. I was
Yeah.
just scared of everything. Elevators, escalators, anything that moved faster than me was scary. Cars.
Yep.
That's kind of a Taurus trait as a kid, I think, to be very cautious. Maybe
Yeah.
if you want to look at astrology that way. So, listeners and watchers, Jenn was telling me about something I had never heard of exactly put this way, and she's talking about somatic body movement,
Yep.
movement, somatic movement. So
Yeah.
she's this is something she does, like one of your expertise. And
Yeah.
tell us about that, because when she started telling me about that, listeners, before the podcast, I like that's what we're talking about. I want to do what you are talking about. Where do you live, by the way? I'm gonna come see you and make you teach.
Well, good news. I can do that for you. I am currently in Utah at the moment.
Okay.
But we can definitely, there are options we can talk about later
Where
for,
are you in Utah? I have a really good friend named Mandy in Utah.
I'm
She
in Salt
lives.
Lake. Yeah.
You're where?
I'm in Salt Lake for,
Oh, okay. No, I think she's a little bit outside of Salt Lake. I want to say she moves sometimes. I don't know. I think she's in Beaver right now. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. It's around that area where Beaver is, if you know where that is.
oh, yeah, yeah. So a little
That
farther south.
there's
Yeah.
I think from what she said, there are little towns in that area. And
Yep.
she kind of, yeah, yeah.
Yep. I'm definitely familiar. My dog.
I totally just changed the subject. Gosh, I'm sorry. You tell me about the somatic.
Okay.
Yes.
So somatic movement, the way that I teach and the way that I practice, which it's a daily practice for me, is through dance and through stretch and through those types of movements. But somatic movement in general is a way to utilize movement to work with your nervous system and to work through rewriting patterns and helping to heal traumas, connecting to the voice of your body, and either creating a relationship with your body or deepening and healing the relationship with your body. And it's just a real gentle, soothing way to ease into that kind of a journey. So for me in my personal life, it has been the most impactful healing practice that I've been able to find. And so I'm really excited that I get to be able to be on that journey with other people as
Yeah.
yeah. So
And
that's
I had And like I had said to her before the podcast, that listeners, if you're a regular listener, Jennifer Love does something very similar to that. She does body movement work, and she also
Yep.
does X Factor stuff. And we discussed that the pole dancing, the X Factor pole dancing. And
Yeah.
there's a update on that for my pole. I'm in a new house, but I still haven't found a place to put it where it fits. But Jen, are you doing some kind of? Oh, that's okay. The dog can bark.
I know they're
These dogs
loud,
bark all the time. We welcome pets. Pets are welcome. Pets love the podcast. We welcome all
but
pets. I
well, I
usually
got
have a cat with me, but they're involved in the windows right now. There's only one window in the attic, and they can't see out of it, so it's not fun up here.
that helps. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, they just like to be involved. They just like to be
They're
involved.
so cute. Is that a Dalmatian?
I have two
Oh,
Dalmatians.
oh,
This is
Pongo and Perdita. It looks like Pongo and
yeah,
Perdita.
this is Lucy, and then that's Olivia behind me.
Oh, Lucy and Olivia. Oh, she knows her name. She whipped her head around. Lucy?
Yep, they're my babies. Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
She's like, maybe not.
She
Maybe
said, I
I'll
think about it. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, what listeners, if you're not, you can't see this, but she has two beautiful Dalmatian dogs, and they are loving her like she is the goddess. And she might be the goddess because I've been very comfortable since we've been talking, and I just feel better and better. And when we first connected, we talked and I started feeling like the sparkly kind of feeling around, like seeing it around you. And I saw your aura. I don't usually see auras. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I'm working on that. And like I have been for 10 years or something, but it's getting better. And I saw a lot of like purple and green and yellow all the way around your head. It was when you were first talking about the somatic before we were on the video. And
yeah.
now I can just feel like you have like the sparkly energy that kind of goes up to the people upstairs, you know? That's what it feels like to them, so they feel better. And to
I
me, so
love
I
it.
feel better. And I
Yeah,
do. I feel better just talking to you. So that's a really good skill you have. And
thank
it's like
you.
you are doing energy work, I think, when you're just talking, clearing things out and
Yeah.
of it moving and stuff like that is really cool.
Yeah, so I also do energy work, and one of the things that kind of happened as the pandemic started in 2020 is I was like, I can't put my hands on people anymore. I can't, right? And so it was how do I find a way to be able to continue to work with people and to help people? And that's about the time that I started really deeply practicing with the somatic movement, and then also started teaching.
Yeah.
It's been really, really great. So I do virtual classes online.
That's what you were getting at earlier, wasn't it? I was hoping that's what it was.
Yep. Yeah. There's an option for virtual classes, and then there's, depending on the time and place where there's in person is sometimes an option.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, so you were mentioning your friend that does X Factor, I think you said.
X Factor, X Pole. I think it is X Factor. Yeah, I think it's called X Factor.
So that is movement that starts from your erotic body, and that's an amazing practice. That's something that I have done as well. And where I start from is from the emotional body. So we want to connect with, like, do you know where sadness lives in your body? Do you know where anger
Yeah.
lives in your body? How can we what happens when we tap into those emotions, and what messages does your body actually share with you as you start to allow those emotions to exist? And
Yeah.
so some of the things that we find is that when we look at emotions, there's some that are deemed appropriate and okay, quote unquote, right? And maybe a little different for men and a little different for women. Most often women will say, I'm not allowed to be angry. I'm not allowed to share that. So when we find anger in your body, what starts to happen? What's the story as to why you were told you couldn't be angry? And how can we facilitate a safe and healthy way for anger to exist without you taking it out on your kids or your partner or your
Or your
boss
parents.
or your parents? Right? Oh, 100%. Or at work, right? Like that was a story for me where I would erupt at work, and then I would be like, but I wanted to be a manager, right? Like I want to be the CEO of the company. And obviously people were like, no, it's scary. So how can we channel that in a healthy way that doesn't impact your relationships and it doesn't stop you from moving forward with the goals that you have in your life?
Right.
Um, and how can we allow you to move that energy through your body? So the other thing that often happens is those emotions we're not allowed to feel, we stuff them down, right? Like we push them down into
I
our body.
do. My anger is kept right in my gut, and that's why I
Yep.
have problems.
Right.
One of the reasons, the energetic
Right.
reason underlying it. Yes,
And
anger.
I will tell you, anger shouldn't be down that low in your body.
It's
Um,
there. I can't get it out. And when I
so
do get
when you
angry,
push it,
when
right?
I lose it, my bowels just losing, like
Yep.
everything comes out. It's totally energetic. I
Yep.
mean, I'm sure there is a health underlying reason, but it's just very weird. And maybe there is a chemical thing that happens when I get angry as well. But like if I get furious and see red, because I am one of those people who can actually, I'm a Taurus. I can actually see red, like everything is tinted red, and then I don't know what happens when I get really angry.
Yeah.
And um and then like within 10 minutes I have to use the bathroom very badly.
Right.
You know?
So that's your body saying, this anger has been in me for so long, it
Yes.
has to be released. And so that's the way
I
your
don't have
body.
a healthy way to release it. And I'm thinking like the body movement is a great way for me to start working on that.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
also super gentle. Sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming or maybe a little scary to be like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to try and be angry around other people. That feels a little intimidating, maybe.
Yeah, like the primal therapy screaming, I want to do that. But I'd
Right.
rather
Right.
dance.
Right. Right. So this is a super gentle way to do that, and we move slowly and we kind of dip our toes in, and then you tell me, your body tells me, okay, this is how far I feel comfortable going. Or your body tells you, nope, 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 this is enough for today. I don't want to go any farther than that. So we follow the signals of the body and the messages of your body that tell us, I'm ready. Like, let's dive. I'm so ready to dive super deep. Or maybe I'll just dip my toes in and see what this feels like. And then I'm going to back away a little bit. And then
Yeah.
maybe I'll come back a little later. Um,
Yeah.
so that's the purpose of what that is. And we really lean into that and trust that your body is gonna tell us what we need to know as we move forward and as we create like this practice for you and help you kind of learn, what do we do next, what
Yeah.
happens for this.
That is so cool. That is so awesome. I'm also, it sounds like you said you're putting hands on people. Do you do Reiki, or is that's what it made me think of? But
Yeah, so that was
I'm a Reiki practitioner as well, Reiki master.
okay.
But I didn't learn Reiki until after COVID hit. So I haven't really practiced it professionally. I did learn up to the teacher level, but I haven't used it. I just use it on myself or, maybe a friend or something.
Yeah.
I send Reiki to a lot of situations, and I
Ooh,
really like that. Yeah, the Hanshazi no Shonen again. I can never say that one right unless I'm doing Hanshazi Shonen. I can't say it. Tongue twister. That
yeah.
was a tongue twister.
So I started with Reiki. That was kind of my gateway into
It's a great
energy
gateway.
healing and things like that. And so I still utilize it in what I do when I'm doing energy work. And then I also it's kind of has become my own thing that I don't think has a like it's
But
just me.
I think everybody evolves that way. They start with other healing modalities, and eventually they have their own techniques that
Mhm.
they may take from these modalities or not.
Yep.
I think that is natural to happen that way for any kind of healer in any way that they heal.
Yeah.
And that's a really good point. So right now, I'd love to ask, where can the listeners find you and get a
Sure.
reading, find about your body movement classes or anything?
Yeah, so you can find me on Everclear for a tarot reading or an empath session or a reading of that sort. And I actually have a somatic movement class that's starting um, on September 30th. So we're getting close.
Woo, good
Um,
timing, Jen.
yeah, and I couple of slots that are still open there. So if you are interested in that, you can email me, and the email is Jenn JENN, two N's, at soulledlife.love. So .love, not .com. And then if you're interested in just the stuff that I do, or you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram at Weil Saradwin.
Great. Awesome. And I will put all of that in the description of the podcast if you haven't looked at it yet. Oh, I hope I do it right. And lastly, I want to thank our sponsor, Everclear. And that's what she just said, Everclear. It's an advice app and website, everclear.com. You can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And Misty's somewhere in bed going, you deserve it. She likes to sing.
I hope she's better soon. I'm sad I didn't get to meet her.
I know, but you can come back. We love you to come back. You have so much you can talk about. You're awesome. I know she's going to hate having missed this. So, we'll have you back. And I would love for you to come back. We want people. We want everyone to come back, but nobody ever does. I'm just kidding. We have a few people who come back again and again and again. So, I guess let me think of some advice you might give for the listeners who are learning and listeners who are listening and watchers who are watching and listening 2 things at once and learning 3 things. So, advice for someone who is they're self-conscious and they don't feel in touch with their body sexually or in the world. They feel awkward. They don't feel like their body moves right like everybody else's, or maybe their body's made of something different. It feels like, like I have my collagen disorder is like, I'm a different kind of person than everybody because my collagen's different, so I'm like, oh, I'm an alien, but not literally. So what kind of advice would you give to someone who wants to try this body movement, but is like so like not comfortable with their body? They don't even know where to begin,
So I would recommend definitely, first of all, just your body is your greatest tool. And your body is sending you messages and giving you information every single day, every moment of every day. So trust that first. And then to begin, I would say just set aside 5 or 10 minutes a day where you really focus on your breath and you allow your breath to deepen all the way down into your root chakra. And follow that as it happens. Okay. And you'll start to notice that things in your body, those messages start to become more clear just by following your breath.
That is so true. I just started doing it. I've done that before, so I knew how to do it. And I just started doing it, and my stomach so girl. So when you're moving around, it's gonna come out as a big fart. I haven't eaten today. So anyway, I'm so glad that's just great advice. I love it. And please come back. Please come back.
Oh, yes, I would love to.
Misty. So and with that, I guess I'll let you have your evening back to you. And listeners and watchers, we love you. And you have any last words for the listeners and watchers, Jenn?
Just thank you so much for letting me come hang out with you for a little while. And reach out, connect with me if this class doesn't work for you. We'll have another one coming soon. So reach out. Let me know if you're interested. I'd love for you to join me.
Definitely, people, you do that. Do it. It's your homework. And thank you so much for always watching and listening. We love you. And we just want to say thank you to Namibia. I hope I'm pronouncing your country right. And Turkey, the country, and Australia, the country, because right now the Chartable email I got says we were in their Apple stores in the top 200 or top 100, top 200, something like that. So it's pretty cool that they're listening to us over there. And we were, for the first time, they finally redid us. Because I had started this podcast under the culture and society tag. And I was like, oh, this is spirituality. I didn't know that was... You know from trying to set these podcasts up, and I'm kind of absent a lot of the time. So I just saw that they finally switched it after 5 years to spirituality on the Apple Store, and we made it into the top 200 in the American Apple Store last week. So first time ever. It was great. So I don't know if we will again. I think we got to 201 and they consider that a top 200. I don't know. It said that we were out at 201. So we must have been a little higher, like fluctuating between a few. And then that's the notification I got. So Thank you for watching and listening, listeners. We love you and keep doing it. Peace out.